last session of plumbing, okay, we made this one. Okay, now this external drainage, for every manhole, we have to find the cover level. For example, if this is your building, okay, from the building, we'll be having ground level. Like normally the ground level, we'll be marking as 0,0 meter only. Any value means reference point 0. Normally, suppose if this is your building and this is a ground level, and from the you might be having interlock level, no, interlock. On the interlock level only, we will be having the manhole cover. So then that interlock level we will be marking as 0,0. Anyhow, the reference level after the survey from the civil team only we will be getting, because with respect to the building survey, no, we will be having survey point. So any point we will be getting for that. If this is 0,0, if you are considering 0,0, based on that, the depth of manhole, the invert level of manhole, everything has to be calculated. If this value is 100 mm, based on that, any value below this is called is negative. Any value higher than that should be positive. For example, if this is your building, from the building that will be connecting to the first manhole, initial manhole depth should be minimum 450 mm. Starting manhole is this one, manhole 01. It is having a minimum depth of 450. So every manhole will be having a cover level, CL, cover level, invert level, IL, and depth. For example, if this is your manhole and this is a pipe we are having. This is a pipe that is entering inside, and it's a pipe that is going outside. Okay. So when you are marking the invert level of a manhole, most of the time, inlet pipe and outlet pipe, both the pipe will be having invert level. Invert level is simply nothing. For example, when you are looking from the top side of this pipe, this is a pipe outer and this is pipe inner. So that's why invert level, for example, this is your cover level. From the cover level to the bottom of inlet, this height is called invert level. Cover level to the bottom of inlet. So that's why, so when you are calculating the invert level, the thickness of the pipe has to be neglected, but thickness of the pipe is negligible. So that's why invert of the level, this thickness is not a big issue. Okay, you can avoid that. Normally, with respect to the cover level is manhole cover level, manhole top level. Cover level to the bottom of pipe is called invert level. So that's why this pipe will be having an invert level. At the same time, this also will be having an invert level. Correct. So that depth of manhole is it's the distance from the cover level to the bottom of pipe that is leaving from the manhole. Not entering. Means from the cover level to the bottom. Bottom means invert level, no, inside bottom. Cover level to the inside bottom of pipe that is leaving from the manhole. Accordingly, the depth has to be calculated. Anyhow, between the inlet and outlet, minimum few standard, different standards are there. Minimum 5 centimeter. Few standards are suggesting 50 centimeter. But if you are considering 50 centimeter and all, if you are having more number of manhole, accordingly the depth of manhole will be increasing in that scenario. Because 5 centimeter extra depth if you are considering there. Next manhole, when it is considering 10 centimeter will come. 3 manhole, if you are having in the series, no, the depth will be increasing into 30 centimeters. That's why even depends, you can consider just 1 or 2 centimeter or 10 to 20 mm is more than fine. Okay. So when we are doing that, you'll be getting a clear idea. Okay. I'm just going to calculate the cover level. Anyhow, this is my 0,0 ground level, interlock level. So this is my manhole number 1. So I'll be creating 3 ways I'll be proposing this manhole schedule. How many number of manholes I am having? I'm having manhole number 1, 2, 3. So this is 5 only. 3 is there, 4 is there, 5 is there. It is going to the 6 and then it is going to 7. Okay. Let's see if all the manhole is having the same cover level. Okay. I'm having manhole number 1, manhole 1. Like that, how many manhole? Manhole number 9. Sorry, 7 manhole. 7 manholes I am having. Each manhole, the cover level, top of the manhole to the ground level, no, that surface, what level it is? 0, 0 only. Meter 0, 0. So all that are at a 0 only. So I'll be marking it. Anyhow, the starting manhole depth we are having 450. Manhole 1. Minimum depth of starting manhole should be 450 mm. So depth I'll be marking 0.45. Depth should be in meter. Okay. So invert level also I'll be marking minus 0.45. Minus only because same. In this case, starting manhole on what depth it is having, the same I'll be considering. But from manhole number 2, manhole number 1 to manhole number 2. This manhole number 1 to manhole number 2. For manhole number 2, this parameter will vary. For example, this is my manhole number 1. And this is cover level, ground level or interlock level. And this is my manhole number 2. Manhole number 2. Definitely from manhole number 1, depth is 450. The bottom of pipe is 450 only from here. And the pipe is reaching to the next manhole. Due to the slope of pipe, the depth will increase, right? Because pipe diameter 3 inches to 6 inches. Anyhow, external manhole pipe diameter depends, at least 150 mm you should provide. 150 mm. Okay. This pipe diameter 150 mm is 6 inches. 3 inches to 6 inches. The slope should be 1/8 inch per foot. 1/8 inch per foot. With respect to the drainage fixer unit only, we have to calculate that. Okay. For example, how many DFU we are connecting there? DFU 30 for this one, DFU 16. Overall 46. Anyhow, the pipe diameter should not be less than 5 inches. So you can go to IPC, International Plumbing Code, IPC table. For building drain, this one. Building drain, 5 inch pipe or 6 inch pipe. 5 inch pipe is 125, 6 inch pipe is 150. 6 inch pipe, 1/8 inch slope, maximum 700 drainage fixer unit you can connect. 700. Anyhow, pipe number from 8 inch onwards, we can provide 1:200. But if we are using pipe diameter 6 inches, that should be minimum 1/8 inch slope we have to provide. 700, we are having very minimum slope there. So that's why 5 inch pipe is more than 5. 1/8 inch or 1:100. 1/8 inch or 1:100 will be the slope. So when we are considering the slope, accordingly the depth will increase. Okay. So this is cover level. And what about the invert level? Normally for invert level, most of the cases, the invert level of inlet pipe, the people will be considering. All the other manhole, invert level of inlet pipe, they will be considering. Accordingly, they will be calculating the length also. Because depth, this is cover level and this is invert level. Cover level minus invert level. Cover level is 0, 0. Cover level minus invert level, they can calculate depth. That is one method. First method I am following now. Cover level minus invert level, you can find the depth. Okay. So that's why, but how many slope I should consider from this point to this point? Outlet to inlet, you have to consider length. When I'm taking the length from this outlet of this manhole to the inlet of this manhole, when I am considering the length, I am getting how many meter? 27.46 meter. 27.46. That's why we can find manhole number 1. Manhole number 1. Distance to the next manhole is how much? 27.46. 27.46. So when we are considering this 27.46, okay, the depth has to be increased. How much? Anyhow, this manhole is at 0.45 only. 0.45 plus slope of 27.46 meter. How much slope we have to consider? See, we are following 1:100 slope. Okay, 1:100 slope. 1/8 inch per foot slope. Or if you are using 1:150 or 1:120, whatever, if you are using 1:120, then you can find 1 divided by 120. This is a slope value. But we are dealing with 1:100. Then the slope will be 1 divided by 100. Now, if you want to find the slope from here to here, we know the length 27.6. Okay, so 1 divided by 100 into 27.6, you can find how much depth it has to increase. Correct. So this distance plus cover level, you can find the depth of this one. Anyhow, find it. Now the invert level of next manhole. Invert level of next manhole is this value minus only this value minus 27.46 into this one. With respect to the 0, that is going minus. So that's why that will be getting how much? Minus 0.72 means starting manhole with respect to the 0, it is getting 0.445 means 45 centimeter depth. Okay. This is 72 centimeter or 0.72 meter or 72 because the 27.6 meter it is increasing, no? So when we are considering the slope, the manhole invert level will increase. Depth will be the same, you can consider. Okay. Plus value of this one, you have to make it positive. Sorry, don't want bracket there. How it is? That is 0.72, no? Depth in meter will be cover level up. Cover level minus invert level is depth. So cover level is this much minus invert level is this much. So that is your depth. But I need two values. So I'm just going through the number. And so decimal places you can make 2 or 3.72. Correct. So starting manhole, let me mark it. Starting manhole, I'll be marking my cover level water hammer arrestor. Manhole number 1. Cover level is where the manhole is coming. Cover level 0, 0. You don't want that. And invert level IL. Invert level is minus 0.45 meter only. Then depth will be 0.45. 0.45 meter. This should be in meter only. What unit you are getting accordingly you can. This is a cover level. Manhole number 1. Correct. So manhole number 2 accordingly we should mark. This is cover level and this one. Manhole number 2. Cover level same only. Invert level is minus 0.724. Minus 0.72. Depth is 0.72 meter. Okay. Accordingly, from manhole number 2 to manhole number 5, what about the depth? Manhole number 2 to manhole number 5. Manhole number 2, manhole number 5. Anyhow, manhole number 5 we can do now. Manhole number 5, distance to next manhole. Manhole number 2 will be connecting to next to manhole, manhole number 5 only. Distance to next manhole, this distance. Okay. We can take outlet of this manhole to the inlet of this manhole. That's a pipe length. How much we are getting? 19.23 meter or 19.24 meter. Okay. 19.24. Okay. What about the cover level? Same only 0, 0 cover level. Invert level will be okay. This value, manhole number 2 invert level minus only, that's why I'm taking. It is increasing. So below 0 minus 19.24 into slope value. Okay. How much we are getting? Minus. Now this depth will be cover level minus invert level. You will be getting the depth, the same. 0.92. But manhole number 5, we have to consider 2 ways. Here also it is connecting. Anyhow, for time being, this one we can mark. If we need to do the adjustment, we can do that. So this one. Okay. Anyhow, with respect to the depth of manhole number 2, the depth has to be increased into cover level 0, 0, 0.917. This one will be minus 0.917. This 917 and all, we can round that into 92 in the last. Depth is also you are getting 0.917. That's the depth of manhole. Correct. Now you can see the same way. This one, starting manhole 3 is also starting manhole. Let's say somewhere here it is connecting some connection. Let's say somewhere here we will be having a connection. Okay. Somewhere from there we are having something to connect. Say example. So manhole number 3, since it is a starting manhole, the same criteria you can provide. I'm also assuming the cover level is 0, 0. The level difference is there accordingly. For example, instead of 0, 0, the cover level is a different value. Means with respect to the site condition, undulations can come, no? Means high differences can come. Accordingly, the depth has to be arranged. For example, instead of 0.000 meter, if the cover level is 0.01 meter, accordingly, the depth will vary. For example, if this manhole number 5 is having a cover level of 0.1, then the depth you don't want to consider 0.92. That will be slightly varying. No? So that's why accordingly we should adjust it. Anyhow, here the cover level is the same. I am considering 0, 0. And invert level fine. Direct. Now the next one. Manhole number 3 is typical to manhole number 1. Okay. But distance to the next manhole, manhole number 3 to the distance to the next manhole, manhole number 4, outlet of manhole number 3 to the inlet of manhole number 4, we are getting 4.465. Let me select it. The distance will be 4.465. Now the manhole number 4 invert level will be this value minus length into slope. This 0.46. You can copy this one. So the depth will be for the next one will be the equation. Since the cover level is 0, 0, it will come 0.49. 0.49. Okay. So cover level 0, 0, 0.49. Cover level 0, 0. And invert level 0.49. 0.49. Depth is also 0.49 meter. Now this manhole number 4 will be connecting to manhole number 5 only. Manhole number 5. Anyhow, what's the distance there? Whether the depth is coming beyond 0.917 meter in this criteria, accordingly this manhole depth has to be adjusted. Okay. So let me select the length from this manhole to this manhole. We are getting how much meter? 32.21 meter. So distance to the next manhole, is 32.217. 32.21. Okay. Once again, I am taking the manhole here, manhole number 5. Okay. Now the manhole number 5, this one I am just comparing it. What about the depth? This was manhole number 3 to 5. Sorry, 2 to 5. Now 4 to 5, the depth is coming higher than 0.92, then I have to adjust it. Okay. So let me do the calculation. So that by this consideration, when you are doing this one, the invert level will be, this is equal to, okay, invert level of manhole number 4 was this one. Invert level of manhole number 4 was this one. So this value minus the distance 32.21 into 0.01. So depth should be 0.81 only. 0.81. And the depth of manhole should be, you can copy this one, how much we will get? 0.82. Out of these two, where you are getting the more depth? 0.92, no? So that's why comparing to manhole number 4 to manhole number 5, the depth is coming less than 0.91. So which one you should consider? Out of these two, where you are getting the more depth, that one you have to consider. That's why manhole number 5, I'll be following this one, because otherwise the depth will be 0.82 only I'll be getting, but here I need 0.92. The depth of manhole has to be increased from 82 centimeter to 92 centimeter. Then only this pipe will be getting sufficient slope there. Okay. So this was just for checking. I am deleting this one. I don't want that. Fine. Now the manhole number 5 to manhole number 6. What's the distance? Manhole number 5 to manhole number 6. This distance you can take. Okay. This aligned distance from this point to this point. So we are getting 9.75 meter, 9.749. Let's say that is 9.75 meter. Okay. And manhole number 6, this is equal to manhole number 5 invert level is this value minus, okay, 9.75 into the slope. And the depth will be cover level minus invert level. That is 1.01. 1.01. So that you should mark there in here. Copy manhole number 5, manhole number 6. Cover level same only. Invert level minus 1.01 meter minus 1.01 meter. Depth is also beyond 1 meter it is coming. Beyond 1.01 meter it will come. Now what about the last manhole? Last manhole it is conditional only. Before connecting to the pipe, on what height this pipe is, public municipality line is existing, accordingly the depth has to be increased. Correct. That is conditional on what height the public municipality line is existing. Up to that height, this depth has to be increased. Clear. So it is unpredictable thing only. But anyhow, this manhole number 7, as per this distance, if you want to find. In this scenario, if you're having a public municipality line that is always live, you don't want any separate drainage tank in your building. But if you're having STP, you have to route that into STP. Okay. Anyhow, this is 8.91 meter. 8.91 meter. Select this one. So next to manhole, that is 8.91. Okay. So that will be invert level of manhole number 7 is this value minus length multiplied by slope. Okay. And the distance will be coming this much. So now the slope value you are changing. For example, 1:120. If you are following, accordingly you can change here. Then all the other values varying. In case if you are following 1:120, 1:120. If you are following this value, you can make us 1 divided by 120. Accordingly, all the other value will be varying. Okay, easy. Only one time you have to make it. What slope it is? So this is 1 divided by 100. Okay. So manhole number 7, that is minus 1.1. Minus 1.1 with respect to this length. So when the people are installing, as per this only they will be installing. Minus 1.1. I don't know. Because depth of public, I can't predict it, right? Because that way you'll be getting from the public municipality team only. On what depth this is going to come, it is totally conditional. You'll be getting from the public municipality. Because I don't know that. So that is totally depending upon the area, no? So the local area only. So on what height, on what depth your public municipality line is going, that is conditional. We can't predict it. So that you will be getting from the local authorities having jurisdiction. From the corporation you have to, or which authority is having dealing this one, from there only. They'll be marking it. If this manhole is having a cover, or if you're asking to the public municipality team, they will give the data. Okay. Fine. So I have provided that. But in any case, this height is varying. For example, here all the cover level is similar only. Everywhere the cover level is similar. But in some cases, for example, if manhole number 6 is having a cover level slightly above 00. Now this is 00 only. Manhole number 5 has located. This is your building. This is your building. And manhole number 5 has located somewhere here. Okay. But manhole, there the land is having some undulations like this. Then it is going to 00 to manhole number 7. Okay, anyhow, from manhole number 5 to manhole number 7, it is not possible to connect like this because the land is like that only. So by this scenario, what you have to do? Anyhow, this pump you have to make as a holding tank. Means you have to make this as a bigger tank, at least 30-minute storage. 30-minute storage. Depends if you're not facing any power issues and all. If you're not facing, because by gravity, we are having a cover here. We are having a manhole there. By gravity, it is not possible to transfer the water, right? That's why by the help of a pump, we have to transfer it. So that's why if you are having any undulation, what you have to do, you have to make a tank here, like a storage tank. The storage tank for 1 day holding, you can, means 1 day, how much depends if the country that you're working, if you're not having intermittent supply, continuous electricity if you're having, then 30 minutes is more than fine. Means the water will be coming there. Okay, water will be storing in this tank. Once it has reached up to a particular level, then the pump will start. The pump will be taking the water and it will be delivering to this tank. But once the tank level has float operated pump only, same like our transfer or booster pump. Once the water level has reached to the bottom, the pump will stop. So the pump that we are using to transfer the water from manhole number 5 to this tank, that is called sewage lifting pump or sump pump. Means sewage sump pump. We will be, sump is like a tank only. In the tank we will be connecting like a submersible one. Or we used to call that as macerator pump. Maceration means bigger solid particle we will be making into powdered, fine powder. No, that process is called the maceration. So that's why the pump itself in the impeller, it is having a blade. So whenever the food solids, human excreta, everything it is sucking, everything it will be grinding like a slurry. After that only it will be delivering. So the chance of block within the pipe we can avoid. So that's why we used to call that as macerator pump. Okay, so that's why in that scenario, you have to make it like a bigger tank. The tank duration, how much, and the tank flow rate, how much water is going to enter into the tank is, we have to calculate based on that. We have to calculate. And the pump also we have to calculate accordingly. Okay, which is second. How we can, I will explain that. And thumb rule we can follow, but thumb rule means, for example, at the peak time, morning, each person will be consuming 60 liters of water. 24 hours, out of 24 hours, morning might be, for example, this is office. Office will be coming between lunch time, 1 to 2. They might be consuming just 20 liters, 30% of per day demand. Offices and all, or residential building and all, maximum 60 liters in the morning will come. How many number of people are there? Let's say you might be having 100 number of people. Okay, so 100 means 100 into 600. The tank volume we can consider 6,000 liters. Easy. This one, peak demand, based on peak demand we can. And this 6,000 liters will be accumulated within this tank within 60 minutes. So if we are proposing a pump there, the pump should have a flow rate based on this value. Means the tank will be filling within 60 minutes. Then the pump should have a flow rate higher than that. For example, this is an office building. Office building, we are having 450 number of people. Okay. Sewage lifting pump. Pump flow rate. Or manhole number 5, let's say, manhole number 5, you should make as a holding tank. That you have to make like a holding tank. But holding tank you can size with respect to the peak demand. As a thumb rule, we can follow a thumb rule as a thumb rule. Let's say if it is a residential building, on a peak time, people might be consuming peak water demand like 60 liters. They might be consuming within 60 minutes only. Let's say the number of people within the building is 100 number. So example. Okay. So the peak water flow, drainage, peak water flow as drainage. But if you're having STP, it is not like that. Since we are not having STP, that's why I'm doing like this. So peak water demand will be 60 multiplied by 100. This will be coming to the tank within 60 minutes. Okay. So now you go to the tank capacity. Okay. Manhole number, tank volume. Manhole 5. Manhole number 5 volume. You can calculate based on that. How much it is? 6,000 liter or 6 meter cube. But sewage lifting pump or macerator pump, sewage lifting pump flow rate is totally depending upon the evacuation time of the manhole number 5 only. Means once the tank has filled, within how many time we have to transfer the water from manhole number 5 to manhole number 6. Based on that, we have to select it. Okay. Anyhow, manhole number 5 will be filling this 6,000 liter peak water demand might be in the morning time. People might be consuming this water within 60. Okay. So that's why tank evacuation time. Tank evacuation time or wastewater removal time from the tank, you can consider 20 to 40 minutes, 20 to 60 minutes. Same like the transfer pump flow rate, 20 to 60 minutes. I'll be consider as an average, you can consider 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Okay. Then the pump flow rate will be based on this value, you can consider. Pump flow rate is volume of tank to be evacuated. Volume of tank to be evacuated divided by tank evacuation time. So when you are doing this calculation, you will be getting the value in liter per minute multiplied by 60. You will be getting that in liter per second. Correct. Based on that, you can find thumb rule. This 6,000 liter is the peak water flow rate. This will be filling within 60 minutes. So the pump has to evacuate less than that. The volume of tank or the volume of tank to be evacuated divided by volume of tank to be evacuated will be 6,000 liter divided by tank evacuation time 40 minutes multiplied by 60. Pump flow rate will be 2.5 liter per second. Okay, easy. Suppose if it is an office building. Okay, office building. We are dealing with the FAB, no? Our office building. Peak per day water demand will be 45 with the canteen. Okay. Peak 30% of that 45 you can consider 45 into 0.3. You are getting how much? 13.5. Let's say 20 liter. 20 liter will be the peak water demand. Like that, we are having 450 number of staff inside because it's a training room. So peak water flow rate will be 900. They will be consuming within 16 minutes only. This much will come. Tank has to be evacuated within 40 minutes. The pump flow rate you will be getting 3.79 liter. Accordingly, the tank volume you can calculate, then you can size it. Not only that, one more method is also there. I will explain that. Okay. But what I mean is, so since we are having this undulation, okay, the cover level here only we are having 0, 0. Here we might be having, let's say, like a 1.8 meter cover level. Accordingly, the depth has to be adjusted, right? Accordingly, the depth has to be adjusted. And also, this is your manhole number 5. Okay, manhole number 5. When it is connecting to manhole number 6, manhole number 5, we have to do some adjustment also. Manhole number 5 volume we have to calculate. How we can calculate manhole number 5 volume? Sizing we have to do. Anyhow, manhole number 5, this pipe will be reaching to manhole number 5. This is manhole number 5 only. And this pipe will be reaching to manhole number 5 at a point of 0.917 meter. This is manhole number 2. Manhole number 2. Manhole number 2, and this is cover level. Manhole number 2, cover level 0, 0. From the cover level, the water will be reaching to this point only. There, correct. Invert level of pipe with respect to the cover level is how much? 0.917 meter. 0.917 meter. But here only the water will be reaching, no? But we have to store nearly 6,000 liter. Let's say if it is a residential building, nearly 6,000 liter we have to store there. So all those, in that scenario, the freeboard of this tank, will be coming how much? 0.97. From this 0.917 meter only, the depth has to be calculated. Okay. Let me take it for example, this residential case or this one. Manhole, I'm sizing manhole number 5. Okay. And depth of manhole, depth of manhole number 5. Let's say I'm assuming 2 meter. 2 meter. What about the freeboard? Freeboard, the invert level of pipe that is coming and connecting to manhole number 5 only. Invert level of this one, the manhole number 2 to manhole number 5, we have to maintain 0.917 meter. From there only the depth has to be considered. Okay. So freeboard will be 0.917, let's say 0.92 meter. Okay. So the effective height will be, or effective depth of tank is 2 meter minus 0.92. So if the depth of manhole is 0.92, within this 1 meter, you have to finish everything. Now we can find the tank area. Okay. Anyhow, tank volume, let's say if it is FAB, tank volume we are having 9,000 liter. 9,000 liter. How much meter cube it is? Liter divided by 1000. So we need 9 meter cube. Okay, 9 meter cube. Now you can find your tank area. Means L into B into H minus X is equal to L into B into H minus X is equal to 9 meter cube. L into B is equal to the tank area. H minus X, we know that is 1.08. Accordingly, the other dimensions you can find, right? So that's why your tank area or manhole area. Okay, otherwise just consider that as tank area will be 9 meter cube volume divided by effective height. That is 8.33 square meter. Now if you need a square tank. Square tank dimension will be, you can take the square root of this one, XQRT, square root of this value. How much we are getting? We are getting 2.88 meter, let's say 3 meter. So the manhole number 5 size will be manhole number 5. Okay, the size has to be adjusted to 3 meter into 3 meter into 2 meter. Okay, 3 meter, 3 meter, 2 meter. By that scenario, here you can see the cover level is 0.0 only. Invert level of pipe that is entering, that is 0.917 only. But depth is how much? Depth you can't calculate like this. Depth will be the second one, manhole number 5. The depth will be